industry grew greatly during the Industrial Revolution. The demand for cloth greatened, so merchants had to compete with others for the supplies to make it. This caused problems such as the products were at a high cost. A smart solution was to use machinery, which was way cheaper than making products by hand, hence the big boom of the industry. The start of the textile industry was caused by the invention of brand new technology. People became richer and were able to buy more things, so the demand for products like cotton cloth was increased. Colonies were providing raw material. People were allowed to change jobs, so there were now employees to work in the new factories. And children of poor and working class families had been working for centuries before the Industrial Revolution, helping around the house or assisting in the family business wherever they could. Child labour was first documented back in the medieval age. Children performed a variety of tasks that were not important enough to their parents, but critical to the family economy. The main reason for the sudden boom in the textile industry was the need for easier workload for the workers. The companies brought in machines to ease the working conditions for their employees. The work started to become easier and shifts were not as extreme. More people had started to realise that the work was simple and wanted and were in need of jobs. With the machines doing a quicker and more quality job than the workers, manual labour, the companies were growing. A weaving loom allows a person to weave two different sets of yarn or thread. This way of weaving creates cloth. Weaving looms can be hand-operated or machine-operated, although nowadays most fabric is created on a machine weaving loom, except those fabrics created by home weavers or artisans. It is unclear when the weaving loom was first invented, but what is known is that it has been part of human society for thousands of years. Workplaces nowadays are usually quite safe. The government has made laws saying that employers have to look after the workers and provide safe equipment for the business. For most of the Industrial Revolution time period, none of these laws existed, and so working in the factories was often very dangerous. The cotton trade and many other industries similar were particularly hard as the workers would endure long hours of labour. Machinery was not always fenced off, and workers would be exposed to moving parts of the machines as they worked. Children were more than often employed to move between these dangerous machines, as they were small enough to fit between tightly packed machinery. This left the kids in a great deal of danger, and high death rates were common. Average man earned $400 per year, which breaks down to $7.70 per week. They worked much longer than an 8-hour day, making less than 8 cents per hour. Women made about half of what men made, and children made about half of what women made. In the 1830s, a 10-year-old mill girl described her life.
We were paid $2 a week, and the working hours of all the girls extended from 5 o'clock in the morning till 7 in the evening, with 1.5 hour for breakfast and for dinner.
With With the significant boom in textiles during the Industrial Revolution came a lot of great advantages for many people, but it also brought a few negative impacts, such as a lot of environmental pollution. The factories were new to this kind of machinery and were not noticing the harmful impact these great inventions were having on the earth. Before factories and companies came around, there were home textile workers who would make things by hand, day in, day out. As soon as the big companies came into business, the consumers would rather fast, cheap, and better quality products, quickly putting the home textile workers out of business. With these negative impacts also brought some positives, such as the people who were unemployed were being hired for good jobs in the clothing factories. This boosted the economy and got the business started. The employment rates were higher than ever and unemployment rates were dropping fast. Our textile industry would be extremely amateur without the Industrial Revolution. The British went through a lot of hardship and struggling to get the business to where it is today. But we would never have the technology and clothing without those young children, tired mothers, and cranky company bosses working all those hours to create the textile industry that we know today.